Imagine walking into a room filled with warm, light music that stirs your soul and laughter that dances through the air. You feel at home. You feel welcomed. Yet lurking behind the smiles, hidden behind the sweet words, there is a danger that you cannot immediately see. It's like stepping into a garden where the roses are in full bloom, but underneath the soft petals, thorns are waiting to tear at your skin. You don't notice the threat at first because everything appears so perfect. See, the most dangerous individuals in your life will not enter with a trumpet or a warning siren. They will not come dressed like villains from the stories you read as a child. No, they come disguised. They come packaged in everything you thought you ever wanted. They are often the most charismatic, the most charming, the most delightful people in the room. They have learned the art of blending in, of saying all the right things, of moving with the crowd without ever revealing their true intentions. A snake never bites loudly. It strikes silently. And in the same way, a toxic, destructive person, the kind that carries the spirit of a psychopath, does not show you their fangs at first. They show you friendship. They show you affection. They show you an image crafted carefully to appeal to your heart, your needs, and your dreams. They study you. They learn your language. They mirror your hopes. They create a false world around you, a web spun so intricately that by the time you realize you are caught, escape feels impossible. When you walk among flowers, you do not expect snakes. When you sit among friends, you do not expect enemies. But life demands a deeper level of awareness, because not everyone who smiles at you is safe. Not everyone who claps for you is celebrating you. Not everyone who says, "I love you," truly loves you. Some people are masters of camouflage. They live behind a mask so convincing that even seasoned hearts have been fooled. They say the right words, but their hearts are far from you. They perform the right gestures, but behind their hands is a dagger, hidden until the time is right to strike. This is why discernment is so important in your life journey. This is why you cannot judge only by appearance, by charm, by charisma, or by connections. You must be like a skilled gardener who not only admires the beauty of the garden, but knows how to spot the snakes that hide beneath the leaves. Because your destiny is too precious to be left unguarded. You must be vigilant, not paranoid. Wise, not fearful. Loving, but not naive. You must understand that when a person shows you who they are, listen, when a person tries to rush intimacy, push boundaries, or dazzle you with too much, too soon, pause. Because love, real love, does not rush. Trust, real trust, is not built overnight. I once trusted someone because they seemed so sincere. I was young, eager to believe the best in people, and I ignored the small alarms in my spirit. By the time I realized who they truly were, damage had already been done. Not just to my work, but to my heart. And I learned that it's better to lose a false friend early than to lose your peace late. The hidden dangers among us are real, but so is the wisdom to see them. So is the strength to walk away. And if you ignore the signs, if you explain them away, if you allow yourself to be enchanted by surface beauty, you risk losing not only time, but something far greater. You risk losing your purpose, your destiny, your very life's assignment. The Bible says, "Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves." Be loving, but be watchful. Be welcoming, but be discerning. Because among the roses, there are snakes. And among the smiling faces, there are hidden dangers. The word psychopath carries a heavy weight, doesn't it? For many people, when they hear it, they immediately picture the shadowy figure from a thriller movie, the villain lurking in the dark, plotting evil deeds. But real life is rarely so obvious. In fact, the most dangerous psychopaths are often those you would least expect. They don't come wearing black cloaks or carrying knives. They walk among us unnoticed, disguised by charm, by success, even by what looks like kindness. A psychopath is not simply a murderer or a madman. At its core, a psychopath is a person who lacks the basic building blocks of true humanity. They are missing the ability to genuinely empathize with others. They do not feel compassion in the way a healthy heart does. To them, people are not souls with dreams, hopes, and hurts. People are tools, pieces on a chessboard to be moved, used, or discarded depending on their own selfish desire. See, they are master actors on the stage of life. They can mimic emotions they do not actually feel. They can pretend to care when in reality they are calculating. They study others not to love them, but to control them. They analyze human behavior not to connect, but to manipulate. Yes. In a world that teaches us to see the best in everyone, dealing with a psychopath becomes a dangerous game, because you are dealing with someone who has no intention of honoring that trust. You are operating from love. They are operating from strategy. You are operating from hope. They are operating from cold, calculated self-interest. I remember meeting someone early in my journey who had an incredible gift with words. They could make you feel like you were the most important person in the room. They could recite every beautiful phrase you wanted to hear. At first, I thought, what a blessing. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, I began to notice something unsettling. Their kindness only lasted as long as it served their purpose. The moment you no longer fed their ego or advanced their goals, the mask began to slip. Psychopaths live behind masks because who they are at the core is not someone that would be accepted or embraced by healthy people. Their true nature is cold, it is ruthless, it is void of the warmth that knits human beings together. Yet they know enough to fake it. They know when to smile, when to cry, when to offer a comforting word, not because they feel it, but because they know it gets results. This is why discernment is not optional in your life. You cannot simply listen to what people say. You must observe what they do. You must study patterns, not just moments. A psychopath will always reveal themselves over time because they cannot sustain their performance forever. Eventually, their words and their actions will go out of sync. Eventually, the real nature, the coldness, the manipulation, the absence of true remorse. There are people in your life right now who may be smiling at you but have no true investment in your destiny. And you must be wise enough to see it. Not with suspicion, not with bitterness, but with holy discernment that protects your soul and preserves your assignment. A psychopath does not fear hurting others. In fact, sometimes they feel a twisted sense of satisfaction from controlling, from winning, from breaking what others have built. And when you understand that, when you realize you are not dealing with someone who plays by the same moral code as you, you can stop wasting time trying to fix what they have no desire to heal. Not every smiling face is safe. Not every kind word is sincere. Some people are experts at imitation, but bankrupt in spirit. They know the lyrics of love, but not the heart of love itself. And when you know what a psychopath truly is, when you see beyond the surface, you give yourself the power to walk wisely, to protect what God has placed inside you, and to stay free from those who were never sent to help you, but only to hinder you.